I think, in short, the summary of what Kstar has been about is to try and find a mechanism for which knowledge brokers can be more effective in delivering what they set out to do, and to find a way to link knowledge between the science and the policy, or the civil society, or what we normally call in Africa like the grassroots level, to try and find a way of packaging knowledge that would be relevant contextually within their own local setting. So for me, I think if I was to summarize my findings from this meeting in one sentence, I would say is just how to better utilize knowledge and find a framework that will be most effective within the local context. I think the major lesson is to have a definitive role of what the knowledge broker is. And the lesson here is that if the knowledge broker defines their jurisdiction, then it's easy to influence policy in the sense that the knowledge broker does not turn into a policymaker. And that mutual respect for what people are good at doing, and respecting the fact that they're good at what they do and what the knowledge broker is just there to facilitate, is something that I think is remarkably good to realize. And in that regard, for the network of science academies in Africa, I think it is important that they define what their jurisdiction are and not be found doing the research, leave that to the researchers, or found doing policy implementation, because that should be the work of the policy makers. But for the academies to provide a facilitating role that would get all these bodies and all these people who utilize knowledge come together and convene and make effective use of that knowledge is something that I think would be good for the academies to define. I think one thing that came out very, very intriguing through the course of this meeting is that if the knowledge brokers do their work really effectively well, then they should almost be phased out in the long run. And to try and create an environment where both the science and the policy makers do not work in isolation, and refer to knowledge brokers as the gel or the glue that would bring these different bodies together. So, I would say directly that something that is unique is the realization that knowledge brokers actually do not operate as a unit on their own, but serve a purpose. And for that purpose, if it is done really well, over time, they should almost just fade out and let the key players between the science sector and the policy sector gel very well and get them exchange knowledge more effectively.